In this video, we're going to be talking about the sibling selector. Now, in our past tutorial, we have been talking about the descendant selector and the child selector. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the sibling selector. And we have been moving from parent to child. But in this video, we're going to be moving from sibling to sibling. Okay, that is the right word to use here. We're going to be moving from sibling to sibling. So as we all know, as you can see here in our index.html, we have 3 divs. Yeah, we have a first div, second div, and the third div. So our first div have 1 paragraph and a heading, and our second div have 1 paragraph and a heading. But our third div here have 1 heading and 2 paragraphs. Okay, so like I said, we have been moving from parents to child, but in this video, we are going to be moving from sibling to sibling. So as we all know, this div is the parent since it's containing everything. This div is the parent of the H1, and it's also the parent of the paragraph. So we are going to be talking about the sibling selector here, and the heading 1 here and the paragraph, they are siblings to each other. Okay, so they are the sibling selector. So we are going to be giving an example on how this sibling selector work and how you can actually work with them. So let's go to our styles at CSS so you can see the stylings. So these stylings, they are just the same. I gave the same stylings here for the first div and the second div and the third div. So they are just the same stylings. So this is what we have on our web page here. This is what we have on our web page, these 3 boxes here. So let's go to our styles at CSS here. Let's go down here. So one thing you need to know, one type of sibling selector which you need to know is called the adjacent selector, and you use the plus sign to denote the adjacent selector. Now the adjacent selector selects the adjacent sibling of a particular sibling. Okay, so this sibling now we are going to be calling the first sibling, which is the header, the heading 1. And remember, the sibling of this heading 1 is the paragraph. So this plus sign, this adjacent sign, which is the plus sign, is used to denote the adjacent sibling. And the adjacent sibling of this heading 1 is the paragraph. So we'll specify our plus sign, and then we'll call our paragraph. So this is going to take effect on all the direct adjacent sibling of this heading. So we are simply going to give this a color of red. So let's go to our web page. If you refresh now you can see this paragraph is the adjacent sibling of our header. So we go to the second box here. The paragraph is also the adjacent sibling of the header. If we go to the third box, it's still the same. This paragraph here is also the adjacent sibling of the header. But if you can notice here, remember on this third div we have 2 paragraphs. Okay, so this paragraph here that is not taking the effect, this paragraph is not the adjacent sibling of this header. Okay, so if we go to our index.html here, so let's go to this third div. So you can see the third div, we have 2 div. So the adjacent sibling of this header is the first paragraph. So this is the direct sibling of the header. You can call it the adjacent sibling of the header. So this is the reason it's not taking the effect, because it's not the adjacent sibling of the header. Now if you want to get all the siblings after this heading, we can actually do that. So we do that with the general sibling selector. So let's go to our styles at CSS and specify this general sibling selector. You use the tilde sign to do this. So this is the sign. You can see the sign there. That is the general sibling selector. So if we refresh now, you can see even our third box is now taking the effect. So it now have a color of red. You can see everything now is working. So that is the sibling selector and also the general sibling selector. So that is how it works. That is how you can work with the child selector. You can move from child to child, and you can also move from sibling to sibling, from parents to child. So that is how it works. So that will be it for this video, guys. I will see you guys in the next video.